Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Tim Stenevec along with Carol Massar, and we're joined by Bloomberg News equities reporter Carmen Reinecke. We got to start with the most traded stocks.
We do, and it is the meme stocks. They're all the rage this week, and I mean, there's a lot to talk about. So I wanted to start off with Kohl's and Opendoor, which were the big, gainers yesterday. Today, Kohl's down 14%, Opendoor down 20%.
Quick trade.
So it's interesting to see that, these stocks have these big run-ups and then they can just as easily fall a lot the next day. So big moves there from, Kohl's and Open, but another day has sort of minted another round of these meme stock players. So we saw GoPro. It gained, intraday it was up as much as 73%, which was a record. And then it paired really heavily and ended the day up about 12%, which I thought also really interesting to see this big of a swing. And then there were a bunch of other stocks, kind of small, high short interest stocks that had double digit gains. Wolfspeed, Iovance, Hims and Hers. Just stocks that we don't usually see, jumping this much.
Why? What's going on here?
I really think that we're just seeing sort of this flight, like a FOMO flight to speculative corners of the market. People are, excited. They're euphoric that the S&P is near record highs, and they're saying, okay, are there other places I can go? The high short interest is important here. It's sort of where we've seen retail traders sort of flock in the past. It's sort of a thing that can make a meme stock. So we're watching a lot of those names and seeing a lot of movement this week.
All right. So you mentioned Kohl's, ticker is KSS. That one was down about 14%. You mentioned Opendoor Technologies. Ticker is open. It was down 20%. You mentioned GoPro, GPRO is the ticker, and that one was actually up about 13% here on this Wednesday.
You did mention donuts?
I didn't, but we should
DNUT?
talk about it.
This was a weird one.
Big one today.
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, Krispy Kreme, ticker DNUT. This was a weird one because it moved a lot, but then at the end of the day, it didn't.
So similar to GoPro, had this huge run up as much as 38% and then closed less than 5% up. This one we actually also saw had really high options volume. So interesting to see. It sort of looks like there could be sort of a gamma squeeze play there where, people are looking for stocks that have the high short interest and also, have this ability to,
Any fundamental trades we should know about?
Yes, just a few. So one that we were also looking at today, Thermo Fisher, TMO. This is a company that makes scientific equipment. It reported earnings that were pretty solid, and the stock jumped 9%, which after the numbers we just said, it seems like, 9%, whatever. But this was the best day since March 2020. So I think important to flag there. Basically, the thing here is that it raised its full year sales target. And we're really getting into the earnings is always about the outlook, right? But we're really getting into the part of the year where it's the full year forecast guide is what investors are looking at.
Nuts.
Halfway through, more than halfway through. All right. So that one was definitely on a move to the upside.
Yeah. And then, just because we are after hours today and we had another slate of earnings, I wanted to talk about Chipotle, ticker CMG. And this one was really moving after earnings. It was down almost 10%. It's down now almost 11%, I'm seeing in after hours trading. Basically what happened is they cut their sales outlook for the second time this year. And so this is for comparable store sales. And basically what it's showing is that they haven't been able to overcome a traffic slump. And this was even in a quarter where they were giving out, free burritos, and had, a new honey chicken. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat chicken. I don't know if this was buzzy or not, but I'm reading in the story we have on the terminal that honey chicken should have brought people in, and I guess it didn't as much as they thought.
Do you go to Chipotle and get any of the vegetarian stuff?
I do. It is actually a great place for vegetarians.
Yeah.
I'm just not having the honey chicken.
But it said ongoing 50 basis point hit from tariffs, and says, quote, consumer environment driving its cut in guidance. Wow.
That's going to be a big story tomorrow.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right. I want to kind of dig into it a little bit more. It was up almost 32% in 2024. It was up 65% in 2023. So it has been on such a tear?
And
yeah, go ahead, Carmen.
You know what's interesting too is, so I always look at this because the former CEO went to Starbucks, and we'll get their earnings next week. So it's always interesting to see, how these stocks are, reacting to their leadership.
And listen, he was really the one who many say turned it around after all of its difficulties. He, kind of came in just before the pandemic. And so it's interesting. We've talked to him a ton of times.
Not as Starbucks. We talked to him quarterly when he was at Chipotle, yeah.
So it's interesting to see how times have changed. Carmen, great group of stocks. Thank you. And of course, ticker on Chipotle is CMG. So looking at a stock that was down about 12% year to date prior to its earnings. So we'll be watching that one tomorrow.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.